In this episode, we left Samarkand and traveled to Tashkent, exploring its smoky bazaar and tasting the world's largest Pilaf. Then we headed to Marjlan to visit a traditional Sokh workshop and crossed the snow-covered Alai mountain. Now we're climbing the first mountain pass. The wind is blowing the snow. Returning to China by Kyrgyzstan and then back to Kashgar. Good morning everyone, welcome back and welcome to Season 3 Silk Road Overland. Today I am in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan, and right now I am in front of this most iconic building in Tashkent called Hotel Uzbekistan. So this is the legacy of the Soviet. It has a Soviet architecture style and looks like an open book. Quite interesting and also very, very impressive. The area where the hotel locates is fairly nice, so I feel it's a very modern and a very busy city. And in my opinion, Tashkent is the most modern city in Central Asia. And today we're going to have a quick tour in Tashkent. Firstly, going to visit a bazaar. The Charso Bazaar looks like a giant UFO. At the entrance, some people are selling freshly baked naan bread. The bread sits on small carts, just like little babies. They're selling a very interesting food. Looks like dumplings in tomato sauce. Adin. People here really greet each other when they meet each other. They shake hands.
Spicy.
Да. Это зовут Ханом. Сколько?
7000.
Hanim. They told me this food is called Hanim, and we can just find a table and try it. It's a large open area where you can get shashlik, the grills, and also some other food. So we got a chai and also this honey. This dish is really nice. It's very aromatic, not very oily. So the noodles cook until very soft, and it's soaked in tomato sauce. There's some more strange food. This is the tongue of the lamb, the lamb head.
It's so sharp. Huh?
Wow, that's a hand.
How much? Сколько?
Sum?
Yes.
600.
Handmade.
Handmade, yes.
Handmade.
Сколько видели все Дамаску, Netro.
Yeah,
They're selling some handmade knife with very beautiful patterns.
Дешевле сделан. Cheap it.
We look around.
Okay.
Rahmat. The bazaar is under a big round dome, and you can see how big it is. It feels almost like a stadium. There are different parts, and right here, this is the butcher area. Lamb is very consumed in Uzbekistan, so firstly comes the lamb section, and there are a lot of big white chunks there. Guess what those are? That is the butt of the lamb, the butt of the sheep. The bazaar is massive and busy, yet surprisingly clean.
Inside, there are piles of fresh fruits and vegetables, all looking incredibly sweet and fragrant.
One thing I really like about their market is that the produce is fresh, and also the whole market is very clean. So everything is, put in a very organized way, and hardly see dirt on the ground. I also noticed this a couple of times that people here are really fond of birds in the bazaar. You see, those are the tiny cages, and there are birds inside.
Okay.
I'm going to get a cup of adin, sunflower seeds. Rahmat.
Uzbek food is very similar to food in Xinjiang. The most common dishes are kebabs, naan bread, samsa, and pilaf. In Tashkent, there is a huge walled Pilaf center, an enormous open kitchen. Here you can watch 3 of Uzbekistan's most iconic foods being made: naan bread, samsa, and pilaf.
This is also the world's largest pilaf kitchen. I read that they make about 1.5 ton pilaf every day, which is enough for 200 or 2,000 or 3,000 people. The kitchen is an open kitchen, so everyone can come in and have a look. I actually never get it why they always put a small pot in the middle to cover the big pot, and it only covers a very small part of this big pot. Plov is the most iconic dish on Asian Silk Road. It originates in Old Persian and then spread easternward along the Asian Silk Road. And in different regions, it has different variations. For example, at its birthplace, Iran, it's often cooked with saffron. But in Central Asia, in Uzbekistan, it is different. It's a lot more oily, so they use a lot of oil and lamb fat. They always mix everything together eventually. In the Middle East, it's often called Pilaf. It's also less oily. And there people use ingredients such as bay leaves and cinnamon stick. It's more aromatic. The closest Pilaf to the Uzbek Pilaf is perhaps Xinjiang Pilaf. In Uzbekistan, they like to cook with a big kazan, this big iron cast pot, and then there are a lot more different spices in the pilaf, and also sometimes it's called hei zha fan. So the way they cook it is that firstly they put lots of lots of onions in the oil, and they deep fry it until it turns a little bit brown, and then they put meat in it in order to get this golden brownish oil color from the onions. And in Xinjiang, it's a lot lighter because they use less spices.
From the Middle East to Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent, every country has its own version of pilaf. But if there is one country that's truly crazy about pilaf, it's Uzbekistan. After leaving Tashkent, we arrived in Kokand. We wanted to visit Sokh, an Uzbek enclave inside Kyrgyzstan. We met some local friends and joined their minivan, the most common vehicle in Uzbekistan. But at the border, we were stopped. They told us the only way to get there as a foreigner is to fly from Fergana. But the nearest flight was 3 days later, so we stayed in Marjalan. The whole Fergana Valley feels like another southern Xinjiang. This is the legacy of the Silk Road. For centuries, Kashgar and Fergana were both major Silk Road hubs. Trade and migration connected them deeply, shaping a shared cultural foundation. The similarities are striking: the language, the noisy bazaars, the fabrics, and even the baby strollers. For ceramics, there was Kashgar and Rustam. For knives, there is chast and injisar. For silk, there is Majlan and Hotan. They feel like two long-lost brothers. In Majlan, we visited a traditional silk workshop where silk is still made by hand. Ala silk is especially famous here. Xinjiang has the same tradition, but historically, Majlan silk was even more renowned.
Are you going to the silk factory as well? Okay.
Rahmat. Ah,
Oh,
here
wow.
it is. Okay.
Feel like any way you want.
Thanks. We're looking for the silk factory, and here it is.
First of all, hi to the camera. It's a great pleasure to meet here again. And it's
Yeah?
a bit cold though, but hi, how are you? Good?
Good.
So, yeah, this is a brother of mine, and he will show you around the workshop. Everything for free.
Yeah.
You can enjoy the tour for free.
The local story said that the silkworm was brought by a princess from Xinjiang to here, but there are different versions of story of how silkworm travel along the Silk Road, and many said it's the Arabic merchants or the missionaries who hide the silkworm somewhere together with their caravans and bring it all the way west. And today the silk worm has spread it, for example, to Turkey, to Italy, to France.
My name is Mohammed. What about you?
I'm Flo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Them.
You boil them.
We boil them, and after that, that's boiling helps us to find either their beginnings.
Yeah.
Then after we put here, I will show you again. We have like this. It looks like a Harry Potter wand. I will dip it. I will spin it.
Ah.
I will shake it very hard. Like that.
Ah, that's how you find the starting point of the silk.
By that.
By that.
And stick. So for example, I told you we boil them. This boiling helps us to make a softer cocoon. So this after become the softer, this cocoon's beginnings come out. So when we spin it, their beginnings stick to this.
Yeah.
So you can see this is like acacia flower.
Okay, sure.
Do you know?
So what is this? This stuff?
Natural
Onion
dyes.
peel.
Onion, pomegranate, walnut,
Okay.
root of Freyan, and others.
Ah, so you all
Natural
use
dyes.
natural plant
Natural
material.
plants, natural dyes,
Natural
natural like
dyes.
colors.
For example, this color.
This color is from the green, so we don't have a, like exactly some plant or something. We mix them the colors, yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue to get the green
Yellow
color.
from the lemon color, onion skins from the gold color. This is pomegranate skins, red, brown, and others.
So you use, for example, this is from the golden colors from onion.
Yes, onion
Onion. Ah. And this one?
from red, from like this cochineal beetles. Do you know cochineal?
No.
Cochineal, like
Cochineal.
insects, beetles.
yeah.
We can get the red color.
Okay.
From Mexico trees. Do you know alum?
No.
Quartzo.
Okay.
Do you know
It's a
quartzo?
quartz, yeah.
Yes.
Helps us to fix the color, to save the color on our production. So
Wow.
let's go. So here our small master.
So he is learning
Yes,
this.
he's learning it. Here there are 100 bundles. 100 bundles here. If we open them, it becomes 240 meter. So you can see why we use only ash. Because what? Because it's washable. You can clean easily. This lines it helps us like marks. Which part become red, which part becomes green.
Yeah.
We color minimum the 2 color up to 10 color. So you can imagine 10 color. First we rub and unrub. We leave the color and unrub like that. So before we use it like this cotton thread, but now we are using sellotape.
Firstly, they dye the thread. So you see this is one piece, and then there is one part that is white and then red, and then when they are going to create a pattern on the fabric, they have to be quite accurate. But since it's not also machine, it's handmade, so you see that it's not one straight lines, but that makes the whole pattern even more beautiful.
But it's address 70% of silk, 30% of cotton. So this big side is cotton, top side is silk.
We just got some very beautiful fabric from the factory. So this one, look, it's pink gray. This is cotton, and another one I really love them, so I want to show you. Look, and the front and the back is different, and the last one has 70% silk and it's a little bit shiny. The pattern and the colors very typical Uzbek, and I really like it.
3 days later at Fergana airport, we were told that winter snow had cancelled all flights.
宝宝，你觉得我们今年能飞吗？
50-50.
We had to give up, and that's trouble. Plans don't always work out. With November getting colder, we decided to hurry to Osh and bring our motorbike back to China before winter fully arrived. From Osh, we took a small car arranged by our guest house owner in Saratash. If everything went well, we could reach China in 1 day.
We're now squeezed in a little truck, heading towards Ishket and then cross the border into Kashgar.
The further north we went, the deeper the snow became. The icy roads were extremely slippery. On some sections, we could only drive at 20 kilometers per hour.
The whole road is covered by snow, and the big trucks are moving very slowly. I think the big truck drivers are very careful, and they all have the chains on the tire. We wouldn't be able to survive the ride if we go with our own motorbike.
Yeah, this will definitely be worse than the first day when we entered Tajikistan. That was also crazy.
Along the way, we saw many stranded trucks. Some drivers were trapped for days, waiting for the snow to melt just to move a few dozen kilometers.
Thank you. This is the truck from Kashgar. Must have stopped here for a while. Now we are getting... Huh? The small truck also got stranded, and it's actually quite slippery here.
Okay.
Now it's moving again. Difficult.
Sokh mu холодно?
Yeah.
Now we are climbing the first mountain pass. The wind is blowing the snow. I think many big trucks from Xinjiang. I see a lot of Xinjiang plate, Xin A, Xin Q. There must be lots of Uyghur drivers. Some of them are trying to shovel some dirt and stones onto their truck in case they get stranded somewhere.
Oh, şaşmayla tuş. Az geliyoruz dostum. He's my friend.
Ah, okay.
Yes. We studied together 11 years.
Oh, wow.
He's truck driver.
How's the road?
He said that side is quite hard, but it's okay for small cars.
Okay.
But for trucks, it's hard.
Okay.
And he drives to Kashgar?
Yes.
So he came back from Kashgar?
Yes,
Wow.
he came back from Tashkent.
What kind of stuff that is he bringing stuff from
anything,
China?
Anything.
Anything. So he bring from Kashgar?
Anything, yes, anything. Food, clothes, everything. Some techniques.
Yeah.
Most of this cargo to Uzbekistan and to Tajikistan.
Ah, okay.
He's driving to Hujant. Tajikistan, yes.
Kujant,
My
Tajikistan.
elder brother also truck driver. He worked with him.
Crazy.
I see.
This is was the highest point, right?
Yes, highest point was, yes, we just going down
Yeah,
to China.
yeah.
You see there over there is a sand, it's a sand from Taklamakan.
Ah,
That's why it's windy.
crazy.
This side is getting lower point. The pass of the top of the pass was 3,750.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're going now for 2,600.
Wow.
Yes, Kyrgyzstan is quite no snow, but windy and cold still. Yeah.
Wow. Even the sand from Taklamakan come here.
Yes.
Crazy, yeah.
Sometimes it looks just asphalt. Some part is ice. That's why we do. I told my brother maybe half an hour we will arrive a bit late, but safety.
Lots of people living on border are the truck drivers. So there are, for example, Kyrgyz driver from here, but in China also Uyghur driver and Han Chinese driver are coming to Central Asia, and the Kyrgyz people can understand some Uyghur language because both languages are Turkic language, so they can understand each other partially. And the Uyghur drivers, they speak both Mandarin and Uyghur language, so they are like the bridge in between the Chinese Han driver and the Kyrgyz driver from Kyrgyzstan. Our driver has dropped us at the border, so now we have to do is to cross the border, crossing into China. I'm so excited right now. I have never been so looking forward to my homeland, to my mother country. We just crossed into China and now we are having a Xinjiang La Mian and a Jiachang Gai Fan in a restaurant outside the border control. Then we're going to Kashgar and then go back home. But this doesn't mean the end of season 3 Silk Road Overland. We will continue the journey. We're going to take a short break, but we will continue. And stay tuned. Thanks for watching and bye bye.
Bye bye.